Hello, challengers. Welcome to week 0, day 5 of your challenge group. You guys are gearing up for Monday. Monday will be here before you know it. You hopefully have had a chance to review my videos from the other days, and you should by now know what calorie bracket you're in, what color containers you think you might want to be eating, how many containers you get for the day. For the next few days, I'm going to be actually going over each of the containers so we can talk a little bit more about the individual containers. Today we're going to talk about the red container. The red container is for your proteins, and depending on what program you're doing, your guide has a list of all the different foods that you can put in your red container. So, introduction to the containers. You are supposed to measure your food in this. One of the things as a coach in my previous groups, I want to tell you, I can tell by the pictures that you're going to be posting in our group if you have measured or not. I can tell when I see a whole piece of chicken breast on your plate that you did not measure it. I can tell when I see a whole sweet potato on your plate that you did not measure it in your yellow container. These are to measure your food. Use them. Okay, so yes, I expect you to cut up your salmon and make it look really ugly. You're going to cut it up anyway and eat it. What does it matter, right? You have to use these to measure. The red container is for your proteins, and the red container and the proteins are very, very important to your success. You're going to be using muscles you haven't used in a while. You're going to need to repair those muscles. You're going to be building muscle. Protein is where it's at. You're going to need energy. Protein is where it's at, okay? So we don't want you to undereat your red container. And in some of the programs, we'll act, if people message me and say, oh my gosh, I'm starving, I'm so hungry, I'll say to them, you know what? Have an extra red container if you're hungry today. Your Shakeology is counted as a red. One serving of Shakeology, whether you use the scoop or the packets, one serving is considered one red container. You don't have to measure it in the red. There are some things that are not measured. If you crack 2 eggs into the frying pan, that's considered a red. You don't have to measure those. But if you're using egg whites out of the carton, that's what I do. I use the cheater version. You're going to measure them. You're going to pour them in and you're going to measure them. If you are using yogurt, you're going to measure it in here. Now, the way to measure is you should be able to get the top on it. Don't have a top here. It can't be overflowing and mounded up. The correct way to measure is to put the top on. Now, I'm being a little bit of a stickler. I'm being a little OCD, but I want to teach you the right way to do it. As you go forward, maybe when you're on your 3rd or 4th round of this, you'll get a little more loose. And anymore, I can probably eyeball. I don't have to measure, but I still do because I love the containers, okay? So I use these personally. One veggie burger is considered a red container. So on the list, it tells you the foods that are like not needing to be crammed in there. Like for your yellow container, toast is one slice of toast is considered a yellow. You don't have to cram it in there. A half of a banana is considered a purple container. You don't have to cram it in there. So the caveats about this one, again, you are going to measure eggs. 2 large eggs, entire thing and yolk and all, is considered a red container. Or around 8 egg whites. If you don't buy your egg whites in the carton and you're going to crack them and just have the egg whites, around 8 egg whites will fill this up. The other thing is cold cuts. So ham and turkey, low salt, not a lot of additives. Those are probably the ones that we want you to really use in terms of cold cuts. And here's again for people who aren't going to be big meal preppers or if you're not a cook. You can use 6 slices of ham or 6 slices of turkey is considered a red container. So rolled up ham and turkey, simple, done, easy. You also can use turkey bacon. 4 slices of turkey bacon in the morning along with your egg whites is considered a red. You don't have to cram it in there and measure it. So learn what goes in your red container. Another caveat about the food lists. If it's not on the list, there's a reason it's not on the list. So don't message me and say, can I have fatty, fat, prime rib? Nope. because that's not clean eating. It's got too much fat in it. Can I have corned beef? Nope. If it's not on the list, there's a reason it's not on the list and you can't eat it. You are allowed to message me and ask me, well, why isn't this on the list? Someone in another group wanted to know why iceberg lettuce was not on the list for the green container. Do you know why? It's not because iceberg lettuce is bad for you. It's because it doesn't really have a lot of nutritional content. Iceberg lettuce is mostly water. And we know that the darker the color of fruit or vegetable, the healthier it is. So romaine lettuce is on the green container list. But iceberg is probably not our first choice. So again, if it's not on the list for that container, there's a reason why, and probably it's because we don't want you to eat it. Beef is on the list, ground beef or lean beef, but it has to be like the 95% lean ground beef. I tend to use more ground turkey because it has even less fat, but that's up to you, okay? So red container, all right, we're getting there. Remember, we're starting on Monday. No one is left behind. The ship is sailing. We're all going together. If at this point in time you are confused, not sure, can't figure things out, can't figure out how to log on to Beachbody On Demand if you don't have your kit yet, now's the time for questions. I'm here to help. Thanks for watching and have a great day.